Sports Podcast here in Oakland.
Let's see that pitch.
Three-game series. Mets won the opener Friday. They took the second game yesterday.
Perfect stretch.
Max Scherzer pitching. JT coming up in the back from the Yankee prospect. We hope for a good match win and get into this road trip. Thank you and see you on the next podcast. All right, this is John from the J&B Sports Podcast. We have a very special guest tonight.
What's going on, guys? You've heard the name, now you've seen the face. That's right.
It's Kevin Miller.
Let's enjoy the J&B podcast today, boys and girls.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody, and a happy Friday to you all. John Giordano, Brandon Schwartz here on the J&B Sports Podcast, and we are actually live in Washington, D.C., and we are going to be at the Knicks vs. Wizards tonight at Capital One Arena here in Washington, D.C. So, John, welcome to the show. As always, good to see you actually in person for the first time in a while. We haven't really done a show in person
Besides with Doug.
in about a month or so.
Yeah, besides with Doug.
Yeah. But it's good to have you on the show. It's good to be in person, you know?
Yeah.
So we were in DC today. We went to see the usual
The monument,
the White House. We
Georgetown.
saw Georgetown, and yeah, we did not see Patrick. For any Knick fan that was wondering, did we see Patrick Ewing at Georgetown? We did not. We looked all over for Patrick Ewing. We were hoping that we would find him and be able to take a picture with him. But today we're going to do our playoff predictions.
Yep.
For the 2023, and we are here already, John. The 2023 playoffs.
Yep.
And I'm going to try and look for a bracket here. I'm going to pull it up. Playoff predictor.
Yeah, NFL playoff predictor.
Because I want it. If the actual picks that were right here. Playoff predictions.
NFL or predictor. Make sure you have cookies set up. Not Carlos Carrasco.
There we go.
All right.
Now we got to go to the playoffs.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Go back. Share.
And now I share it.
Yep. Present. Share screen. Share access. Then you have to click it.
Like this.
Go back. You have to go back. You have to click your screen and then.
Share.
All right, now you're good.
All right. So, playoff predictor. So
Yep.
I click this.
Yep, and we go through it.
They could see it?
Yes.
Okay.
You want to do it like how Doug does? I do one side, you do the other side.
All right. So, AFC is on the left side, NFC is on the right side. John, which one do you want?
I'll do the NFC since you're
Okay. Absolutely. Jaguars tomorrow.
Yes.
I'm going to go Jaguars. I'm hungry for this. I think beat this. I'm going Jaguars team. Bengals. Oh, now do you do a game for the NFC?
So Tampa and the Cowboys should be a good game. Rematch of Week 1 when Dak got hurt, if you remember. Considering it's in Tampa, I don't think Brady wants to end his career yet. He's gonna win this game. What do you think?
So you're going with the Buccaneers?
Yep.
All right, you're going with the Bucks. Bengals, Ravens. Unfortunately, I'm going to have people that I know that are Bills fans are nervous about the Bengals because they would have to play them if they won and moved on to the second round. So unfortunately, I have to go with the Bengals for Bills fans. I'm sorry, but the Bengals I think are going to end up playing the Buffalo Bills in the second round of the playoffs.
All right, so Giants-Vikings. This unexpectedly was a very good game on Christmas Eve a couple weeks ago. Would you agree with that?
I totally agree. The game was only a 3-point win for the Vikings, and it was really a close game. Giants had a chance. They just unfortunately fell short.
Yep, I'm just saying Giants get their revenge.
All right.
And
Seahawks 49ers tomorrow at 4:30.
This is going to be a very good one.
It's going to be great.
The Seahawks, I believe, have not beat the 49ers in a few years. I think I'm going to continue to ride the Purdy train, and they're going to win this game.
All right, nice.
And then now, if you go to the next week on this, we can even make our divisional round predictions.
All right, yeah, we're just gonna do so we could actually. Oh, cool! It does it for you automatically.
Yeah.
All right, AFC. So we have the second round now. The audience is seeing this right now, right?
Yes, because you're sharing your screen.
Okay.
They can see what game you're talking about.
And if you fans, if the audience, if you can't see the screen, you can just email us at the jbpodcast@yahoo.com to tell us if you are seeing it now, because we want to make sure you're able to see the playoff predictors. I'll start off with the Bills and the Bengals in the second round. I'm going to have to go with, the Bills. I think they are still the favorites to play the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC. I'm just going to do the Chiefs are going to unfortunately beat the Jaguars, so I think it's going to end up being a Bills-Chiefs AFC championship in Atlanta.
And that's unfortunate. It has to be that way because of what happened with DeMar Hamlin.
Yeah.
Thankfully, he's been released from the hospital
Thank
this
God.
last week.
And just praise the Lord with some great stuff for the Bills, because you just didn't want to see that happen to that young man.
So now for the NFC, Bucs and 49ers, I'm going to have to say 49ers take this one. I think Purdy's on a roll. That Brady, I think that's going to be it for him. And it should be a very interesting little game there. And now the matchup as the Giant fans have probably been dreading. The third matchup of the season with the Eagles. I, unfortunately, after watching them last week, think the Eagles would win that when Jalen Hurts is back. And it's just not going to be easy, as you're seeing. It's very hard for the Giants to win in Philadelphia.
So you got the Eagles?
Yep.
All right.
It should be a good game, though, even considering they almost beat them with Davis Webb.
Yep. All right, so now we got the championship games. AFC, the Bills, Chiefs. Since it's on a neutral site, I think the Bills have a great shot this year. So I'm going with Buffalo to the Super Bowl.
I'm going to actually go with the Eagles in this one. Even though we don't want to see them win, I think Purdy's going to collapse late in the playoffs.
So we got a Bills-Eagles Super Bowl.
Yep.
And your AFC versus NFC, the Bills and the Eagles in the Super Bowl in Arizona. John, who do you have as your Super Bowl winner?
Gotta go Buffalo.
I think we both agree Buffalo is going to win it all.
We don't want to see the Eagles win, if you think about it.
So Buffalo wins.
So now you have to stop sharing.
So Buffalo has according to the JMV podcast,
will
win the 2023 Super Bowl in Arizona this year.
Josh Allen MVP.
Josh Allen MVP. Or I have another guy that could be MVP by the name of Matt Milano. I think Matt Milano is a really good player for this team. I think he will come up with some clutch plays in stopping the line for the whoever they're playing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be an outstanding playoff starting tomorrow, 4:30 with the Seahawks and the 49ers in Santa Clara. And then we have, I believe, the Chargers Jaguars in Jacksonville.
Yep.
At 8:30.
With Al Michaels on the call,
Al
returning
Michaels,
to
man.
NBC.
That's going to be great, man. It's going to be fun. It's going to be, and I almost cursed, but I didn't. I'm just so glad that are you glad that our New York Football Giants are in the playoffs this year?
Yes. And unfortunately for the other side of New York sports.
Oh, the Jets, man. Just what an absolute colossal ending to the season for them.
Yes. Zach Wilson was an absolute mess this year.
What a mess. And they need to figure out who their new quarterback is.
Yeah. I don't even think they could trade up to get one.
Well, do they have a draft pick in the draft this year?
They do, but it's going to be later in their first round.
Well, listen, as we all know, Tom Brady was picked in this, I believe, was it the 6th or 7th round of the NFL draft?
Something like that.
2000.
And look at him now.
Look at him now, greatest
go.
quarterback of all time. And listen, you never know. The first round is not always the way to go. Sometimes you get second, third, and this goes to every sport, especially NBA, because NBA has they always say, the best players are in the first round. No, that's not always true. The second round has some really good players, and we'll see what happens. But the Jets need to fix what their defense is so good, probably one of the best in the league.
Sauce Gardner, he was all pro.
Sauce Gardner is a stud. He is that good.
Yep,
And-
and he barely allowed touchdowns this year when he was covering players.
I've heard people say that he was the best player in college football last year for Cincinnati, and he probably was. I mean, he really is a legit player.
And you think they came out of nowhere last year. They made a statement beating Notre Dame in South Bend early last season.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then he was the number 4 pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember they had the 4 and the Giants had the 5, right? When they took Thibodeau?
Right. And then Neal, they took 7. Right. This was a good draft for the Giants. I mean,
Neal
I like
has
these
been
guys.
healthy, but Thibodeau.
Thibodeau, man, he's some player. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we are going to talk a little bit about the Carlos Correa mess, and finally, it is resolved.
Yes.
We'll be right back. All right, we're back here on the J&B podcast, which has been sponsored by our good friends at Bear and Birch. Bear and Birch is a Russian bathhouse in Freehold, New Jersey, where you can go and get all your necessary spa amenities, such as steaming, and they have a restaurant there. So thank you, Bear and Birch, for being our proud sponsor. So, John, finally, the Carlos Correa mess has been handled.
Yes, but
Back
not
to
the
the
way we
Twins.
wanted it.
Not the way that these Met fans want. Correa finally passes his physical with the Minnesota Twins.
Yep, 6 years, $200 million.
And John, what a circus, man! What a complete circus this was.
Yep, it was.
I mean, what went on? Because of an injury from 9 years ago?
Yeah, that they thought that it's going to deteriorate later in the deal.
9 years ago, who cares? The guy has been such a great player in the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, it only just came up in September, I think.
See, this is the kind of stuff that bothers me, that people bring up from the past, these stupid things that, like, the guy has been healthy for the last 10 years. Okay, you coming up with something that came up 9 years ago?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand. That's a little weird. I mean, we haven't heard something like this in a while.
Yep, don't talk about things from the past with Doug, though. You know what he would tell you. Your 27 rings.
Oh, yeah. Don't listen. Yeah. Listen, we all know Doug is completely wrong when it comes to having the Yankees having 27 rings. We all know that it means a lot to have 27 rings. We all know that. We all know that Doug is a jealous Rays fan the Rays pretty much have absolutely no historical background. I mean, they have very little fan base. So we all know that Doug is just a jealous Rays fan. He knows that the Yankees are just so much better and everything, you know. All I could say is they need to rebuild that arena, the stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, that stadium's a joke.
We went there, what was it, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
I thought it was fine.
They need to rebuild it. I mean, the outside is fine. The outside is disgusting. I mean, They really need to rebuild that whole. They need to build a whole new setting there.
Yep.
I'm trying to get our good friend on the show, see if he would actually join us. Let's see. I'm sending a link to him, see if he wants to join. Our good friend, we've had him on the show before. You'll see, if you see him, you'll know who he is. DJ Fuzzy Bear, one of our good sponsors.
Yep.
We'll see. We'll give him a minute, see if he would actually pop up. But John, baseball we're about a month away from pitchers and catchers reporting.
I believe I saw it February 13th if you're playing the World Baseball Classic.
Right. So the Yankees get Rondon.
Yep. They bring back Judge.
What else do we have to do? Oh, we're not done yet. I just don't think we're done yet. I think we still need to do some more stuff here.
I think you have to go get Reynolds from the Pirates.
After McCutchen going back, I think that's a good idea. That the Yankees go after Brian Reynolds.
But what would you give up to get him?
I would give up Torres. I think I'm ready to give up Torres, and I'm ready to give up Peraza. Don't give up Volpe. Volpe is going to be something special.
The thing is they only need shortstop.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to give up Torres. I think Torres is proving he's a very good player, but I'm not going to lie. I think I would trade him for Brian Reynolds.
You have to remember that your top prospects are shortstops, and the Pirates don't need one because they have O'Neal Cruz.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. If the Yankees have a chance to get to the World Series, they're gonna have to beat the Astros, and they're gonna have to make sure they're clutch. They have players who are good in clutch in big play. Like eighth inning, down 2-1. They want players that will be clutch in the moment.
You definitely need more relievers as well.
We need more relievers. We need more. I think we might even need one more starting pitcher.
That's the thing, the difference between them and the Mets this offseason.
Oh, the Mets. Kodai Senga, Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer, Corky Carrasco, Jose Quintana. I mean, that is a great – but you got to remember, that is an older rotation.
Yep.
Besides Senga, Quintana's not young.
Nope.
Scherzer's definitely not young.
Scherzer and Verlander are both like 40.
Right. They're older. Carrasco's getting up there in age.
Yep.
So it's not the oldest, but hey, as long as they're clutch and get him through the postseason and maybe to a World Series and maybe even winning a World Series, that's all that matters right now. And Verlander, when it comes to winning a World Series, he is so good.
Yep.
He is so good on being on a winning team.
Yep.
He is that good. And he got better when he came to the Astros because the Astros have just been great with him.
Yeah, but if you think about it, our depth is very good too. You have Miguel, who opening day started last year, and he started the combined no-hitter against the Phillies.
Yeah.
David Peterson. You guys they got from the Marlins.
He got Diaz back, He got the Trumpets. Timmy Trumpet is back, so thank God.
You have David Robertson helping close games. Avino's back. A lot of good options out of this bullpen. What did you say?
Would you say that was the best? So you went to the game last year where they had the Trumpets, where Timmy Trumpet was actually on the field.
Yes.
You say that was one of the best games you ever been to?
Yep, all around. You have Brandon Nimmo robbing a home run.
They played the Dodgers that night?
Yep. Robbing former Met Justin Turner.
Wow. This has been a great show. Thank you once again for joining the JMB Sports Podcast. John Giordano, Brandon Schwartz. We are about to head to the Knick game soon. We're going to head to the area. We're going to get a little bite to eat. We're going to go to the Knick game, and hopefully the Knicks walk out of here with a win tonight. They have been playing really good ball lately. They should have beat the Bucks on Monday. Shouldn't they have beat the Bucks? They had a big lead, and they blew it. But they should be able to beat the Wizards tonight. We'll see our old friend Kristaps Porzingis with the Wizards. We will, if you're a Knicks fan, you love Porzingis. He thought he was going to be something special, but then the injury screwed him up, and then he was traded to the Mavericks along with Tim Hardaway Jr. and got Wesley Matthews, and then before you know, it was history.
They had a lot of games they should have won this year.
Oh my God! And the Knicks are like that every year. There were games they should have won, and then they blew it.
Like they should have won that Dallas game, right?
They should have won the Dallas game. That is, I can't even talk about it. I can't even talk about it. That was so embarrassing.
How do you let him get his own rebound on a free throw?
Yeah.
To end the game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand.
I guess Luka is God.
Yeah.